This is a special I Laugh Namibia episode where we pay tribute to the stunning, magnificent Tina Turner.
Odile,
Yes.
Lazarus,
Yes.
it's good to see you guys.
It's really great to see you. It's been such a long time since
been a
all three of
while.
us were
It's
together.
been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while, man. It was, it was
Did you miss me as much as I missed you?
Oh, I couldn't even wait to see you. I was so excited. I woke up at 4 this morning.
I'm not convinced. Did you miss me as much
No,
as I missed you?
you know, when I walked into the studio, seeing you and last, there's a certain glow about Odile. I don't know, attributed to what this is.
She's
Okay,
even
stop
got a
it
little
now.
halo on
Huh?
top of her head. Like
So-
she's
Oh,
got a
wow.
little Jesus thing going on.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness! Wow.
On top
Yeah,
of
yeah.
her head.
Okay, I
How
think we
have you
need to.
been? No, how have you been?
I've
How have you
been very, very good.
You have a curious case of Benjamin Button. You're like aging backwards recently. You've been
Really?
aging.
You think
Yes.
so?
Yeah.
I
You came from 28 to 21.
Really?
Like in 3 months.
so the
Whatever
thing
you're
is,
doing.
I need to keep doing
Kan
it.
die vrou praat asseblief?
That's what I've been wanting to do. Thank you so much. I think the reason why I look this gorgeous. I'm lying to you. That's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about the other angel in our life.
Because you are channeling your inner
Tina Turner. That's the one. That's the one. Although I never, I don't think I'll ever be able to give you the Tina Turner hair. Her
No.
iconic hairstyle that really celebrated her individuality, but
But that
also in
wasn't
the
her
same
real
breath.
hair anyway, but we move.
Well,
Like
excuse
most-
me?
Like most black women, that wasn't her real hair.
Okay.
But we moved.
Do you really want to have this argument right now?
No.
I honestly think it was her real hair.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No.
She was from Nutbush in Tennessee.
Nutbush!
She was from Nutbush.
Nutbush! Nutbush!
Oh, that's not how the song goes.
Nutbush.
It's okay. We know you don't know.
Okay,
Tina Turner,
Laz,
it's
you
fine.
seem to be the expert when it comes
No,
to
I'm not an
music.
expert. I just know that that song doesn't sound.
Not like, are there any particular songs that you feel played a huge part in your life growing up?
You know what? I was saying that when I think about Tina Turner, I don't really think about her the songs that were like major hits, which were her own songs. Her own songs. The one song that I really like about Tina Turner was the live version of "Addicted to Love," which is, I think, the original artist was Robert Palmer. And every time she did that song live, the band always played an intro, a long intro instrumental, and then she'll come from backstage, and they will always start showing her feet first. And then the audience will go crazy, and then obviously she was known for her legs and stuff like that. And then
Of
she will
course.
do that, and she does that. She used to do that shuffle, and I really like that song because she sang really deep. Really sang that song very, very deep. And but one of my favorite songs of hers, which she wrote herself, was "Be Good to Me." Better Be Good to Me. I love that song. Once again, the live versions. So I had the problem. I mean, I always had issues with listening to her studio songs. I always wanted to listen or watch the live versions.
The live version. Have you?
She was an amazing performer.
Because you travel around so much, have you ever seen her live?
Unfortunately, I was in Spain the same week she was going to perform, but I was with work and I missed the show.
There was no in South Africa.
Oh man.
In Spain.
Oh, in
is not in
Spain.
South Africa. Oh, Bantu education. Spain.
No.
Spain is
I
in Europe.
understood you.
Oh, Spain in South Africa.
I
You know a
understood
place called
you.
Spain in South Africa.
I understood
I don't know
you
a place called Spain in
as
South
he
Africa.
was in Spain.
It's not like a cooker shop in
And she performed in South
Kanutura.
Africa. That
Oh,
is
we
what I
are going
was
to have to go at Spain. She's been. No.
Okay, let's move.
Yeah.
We
Let's
move.
move. Yeah. So, but it's one of my regrets
Yeah.
that I've never seen her perform live.
And you were so close.
It
Les,
was the same week.
like
same,
breathing the same air, the same Spanish air.
literally. But she was an amazing. She was a phenomenal woman.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Neville, any great favorites that stand out for you when it comes to Tina Turner?
Not
me-
not Brenda Fassie.
For
Tina
me,
Turner.
Tina Turner, I think, Tina was basically in an element when, I think it was in the 80s and the 90s, where I defined my music through R&B.
Mm-hmm.
So the rock and roll genre was just never my thing. But what I liked about Tina was the fact that, especially when I obviously looked at her life story, how she grew up you know, the difficulties that she grew up in, and obviously what she went through with the marriage with Ike Turner. That has been very defining for me as to how I define her as a strong black woman. So her music per se, there was like one or two songs like Simply the Best, your normal commercial songs of Tina that I followed that sort of solidified, you know, her legacy for me.
Of course, yeah.
But she will be remembered, or I remember her for what she has achieved in life, and just the sheer resilience, you know, on the back of what she went through, and that's my experience that I have with Tina. But the music per se, it's like I sort of became. I think if there was like one black person that really brought me closer to rock and roll and the type of genre that Tina was known for, was Lenny Kravitz. So Lenny sort of changed that for me. So yeah, honestly speaking, no, Tina, I love the commercial ones, but I will always just remember her for
that kind of resilience.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% because she represents a powerful voice, not only for women in that position, but also just that general community at large.
Exactly.
And I think it's sad to say that many younger generations will only know Ike Turner for being such a unkind gentleman to our lovely Tina Turner.
A violent abuser.
Yes. I was trying to be nice about it. Thank you, Les.
No, but it's documented.
No, but yeah, it's true. It is documented.
The thing is, when somebody passed, then you start, especially now these days with social media, you are just bombarded with all these images about the person. And I for a long time I thought we watched that movie together, but we didn't. I thought we watched What's Love
Got to Do with
We
It.
watched that movie together. Never.
Yeah.
I think it was at the drive-in.
Yes.
We went to watch that movie. Yeah, back then.
Drive-in.
Drive-in. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Back
Please.
in the day, hey?
There's a younger audience
Yeah.
who listens to some stuff that you're talking about. What the hell is a drive-in?
So the drive-in was a cinema at Olympia, but you could actually drive and sit in your car and watch a movie.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
When I was an infant. Couldn't see straight.
For example, New Edition song played on the radio the other day. Mr. Telephone Man.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with my line? And my 14-year-old daughter sits in the car like, Daddy, what is a Mr. Telephone Man?
Yeah.
So what does a Mr. Telephone Man do? And I had to explain to my daughter.
The phone pole.
Back then, you had a guy who is an operator who sits in a little booth. If your calls don't go through, he needs to press certain buttons so that your calls can go through. So the song, Mr. Telephone Man, as beautiful as the song sounds like, my daughter can't identify with the words of the song.
Yeah.
Or with
That's
the
the
lyrics
thing.
of the
Yeah.
song.
Different time, different era.
So when I saw What's Love Got to Do with It, it was just one of those things that you wanted to watch the movie because you want to learn about Tina Turner's life and stuff like that. We didn't get in detail. However, just recently when she passed on, when I started reading some of these articles, and that she really had a tough upbringing. Her mother had her when she was a teenager. She was a product of a teenage pregnancy. And then her mother abandoned her and dropped her off at her grandmother.
Yeah.
And then her grandmother and her did not get along, and her grandmother dumped her. And then she went to stay with her aunt, and her aunt did exactly the same thing. And then she ended up in the hands of Ike Turner, who was her first husband.
Yeah.
And we all know what he did to her. So, and I found something very interesting. If you all watch The Color Purple, once again for this younger audience, please Google The Color Purple.
I think they're actually doing a remake of The Color Purple.
And
So that's good.
What they did is Quincy Jones was a producer at the time.
I remember.
With Steven Spielberg in the movie. He asked her to act in The Color Purple.
That response.
And you know what she said? She said, I'm done with this black shit. Because as you know...
And we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We are. That's actually a perfect introduction to the next topic.
She was like, I've gone through that before. I'm not going to go through this in a movie.
I
It was an
mean,
amazing thing.
that's fair, and she's also an artist, and
Yeah.
and part of the beautiful challenge, let's call it that every creative goes through is having to dig deep and really connect with their art once they release it into the world, and it would be unfair to ask her to relive that kind of brutality, knowing the type of performer she is.
Yeah.
Because Laz, you really like her live performances, because that's where she really makes the music come alive. If you didn't like Tina Turner, just watching her on stage would immediately turn your opinion around about her.
Yeah, but
Let's address the elephant in the room here.
Okay, so
On the back of what Lazarus was just talking about now.
Yeah.
Because she had the opportunity to perform in The Color Purple.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
And she told Quincy Jones, as you rightfully says, I'm done with that black shit. So what was very disconcerting for me, which was something that was very disappointing for me.
Disconcerting is the word.
Concerning to me
Thank you, teacher.
is the fact that, years later, 50 years later, you unearth an interview where Tina talks about Africans in a derogatory way.
Derogatory.
Saying that, you know what? She considers Africans as lazy people, as too laid back. She's been to Africa, and she does not identify with the lifestyle or the behavior or the conditioning of Africans. Now, yes, it is something that she said over 50 years ago.
But still, it's quite insulting to say to an entire continent of people.
Yeah, and when I saw that, it's sort of, wow. That was kind of like a rude awakening for me, seeing an African American talking in that way. But then again, I think for me, Laz, I have to see it in the context of where African Americans were, especially in the 70s. I think African Americans were in a situation where they also tried to figure out their own position in society, in American society, where you are not accepted in a country since 1619, and it's over almost 300 years later, where you've always been considered as product and not a human being. And you were basically taken out of a continent which you also don't identify with. So I think probably in the context of how she put it back then, I think she was probably in her 20s. And I know some of the stuff that I said when I was in my 20s, I would not say today. But I sincerely hope that in the last 50 years, she has changed the views about Africans, about being African.
You see, there was an interesting interview that was the interview that Neville is referring to. However, somebody came and broke down what she said. They said, no, when she said Africans were lazy and they're cooking and all of that stuff, apparently it was like the old school way of saying things. And I'm just like, whether it's old school, new school, I don't care.
But who's this person that came to
It was some
explain it?
There's always some spokesperson.
Okay, of course.
Now, to me, what happened is Neville just years later, she came and apologized.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did an interview where she actually apologized. She said, I was a young, ignorant girl. And she's like, look, Nat Bush is like Caribou. If you contextualize it, where she grew up a farm girl. She grew up in a rural community and stuff like that, and she suffered from a lot of prejudices and ignorance about the world. You follow what I mean? When she came to Africa, I think she had a certain perspective about Africa. Like, Africa is always glorified for African Americans. It's the motherland and they came here like there's pain, there's suffering, and she didn't understand this whole thing of street markets and why they sit there. It's like, I don't like their food and stuff. Like, we also don't like your food, by the way. But that's besides
your collard greens,
your soul food. That's not the issue. But what I like about her is, even if you look, stuff like I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. I said, I like Gandhi. He's one of my heroes. But if you hear what he had said about black people,
Ella!
Yeah, did you see my facial
Ella!
expression change?
you follow what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What defines us as human beings
Mm-hmm.
is not the stuff that we have said, it's the stuff that we grow from.
Yeah.
That's the most.
Yeah.
I would like Neville say I will never judge him on stuff that he has said when he was 19.
Yeah, of course not.
20 years later.
Yeah.
You follow, and as human beings, we are just evolving. And I was like, one of my guitar heroes is Eric Clapton. And he's also said some stupid stuff about black people. But he went on and he recorded this amazing music with B.B. King, who's the king of
The blues.
the blues. And he did amazing work with Babyface and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he said, it's true I've said this stuff, but I was just a young guy from working class family in England.
Yeah.
And he said the stuff when he was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he was working for some right-wing organization. And he said, but that's not who I am right now.
I think from my personal perspective, I also have to agree with both of you, actually, but also mainly you, Laz. I'm trying to keep in mind that she was a survivor, especially when you look at her past, how she grew up into the marriage and then still having to learn how to thrive from all the crap that she grew up in, for the lack of a better word. Her survival mindset, perhaps, without really realizing it, forced her to embody the voices of those around her. And needless to say, some of the people that she was surrounded by are the people that she really wanted to be part of that type of community, who are unfortunately racist or really cruel and hard-headed.
And also, look, like Neville said, let's address the elephant in the room here. She had horrible, because she never had good, positive black male role models, whether it's romantic and otherwise. And by the time she was done with Ike Tina, she was done with black men. She was like, look, I've had this experience. All I think about is abuse and all kinds. That was her template. You follow? Until even in our country, you hear black girls say, I'm done with black men. They're like, Namibian men, no, I don't. You understand what I mean? Because people make decisions.
Wait a minute, our white women also say, ek is klaar met Johan.
Met Johan hulle.
Ek is klaar met Johan hulle. Why is it only black women who say they are done with
No,
it?
they do say.
Why are white women not saying,
They do say this.
ek en Gert is klaar?
Nee,
That's also saying.
that's what they do. They say,
nonsense,
ek is klaar met Johan, maar ek gaan Gert toe.
Oh, come on, Jinx. You don't know the full story. You don't know the full story. All right,
Listen, I want to ask.
You want to
I'm
ask?
done with Johan, but God forbid I go for Paulus.
Leave Paulus out of this.
Paulus
Gert, leave them all.
En onerf jou. Ja.
Neville?
So Ike on the other
Ek weet
hand.
ek is sleg, maar Paulus. Ek weet ek moer jou elke dag, maar Paulus.
Leave Paulus out of this. Okay, Neville. We were talking about Ike.
So Ike, I remember this interview of Ike, obviously ranting and about Tina,
Yeah.
where he was like giving his ideas or his assessment of where Tina basically moved on when she left him. And Ike was, he was just ranting and raving. It's like, no, I mean, if you look at Tina today,
That's beautiful, Ike.
I think he was still
Sniffing.
he was still sniffing. It was like, no, if you look at Tina today, that is, no one in her band, she doesn't even have any black people in the band anymore. Everybody in Tina's band is white. Tina, goddammit, she doesn't even sound like an African American. Goddammit, she sounds like an Australian now. She's English, or goddamn, I don't know what the hell she is, but she's not American anymore.
Yeah.
And Tina's response to that was, you know what? Yes, I gave me the opportunity to become from anime Bullock, or what's the surname?
To Tina Turner.
To Tina Turner. And I'm thankful for Ike for giving me the opportunities. But the talent that we're talking about, the talent is me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with what Ike basically gave.
She had the voice, she had the
I
presence.
had the voice,
she
I had the presence, I
Yeah.
had the talent. He gave me the platform.
Mhm.
So when it comes to sheer talent, I mean, I remember in the late 80s and 90s, I saw some live performances of Tina. Remarkable performance, even though the music genre is not my style. But I loved what she did. So, but Ike, man.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, to me, I was of the opinion that maybe it will be an unfair opinion. I was just like, Ike, you lost your right to have an opinion on Tina
Yeah,
the day she left you.
yeah.
Especially under the circumstances she left. He in no moral position to judge her on anything. You understand? When he literally beat her to a pulp, she left him with 39 cents in her pocket after they made so much money. He even went as far as he patented her name when they were married.
He wanted the name back.
He wanted, because he wanted to make money out of her name. You understand? So he basically enslaved her.
He did.
You follow what I mean? So I'm not gonna listen to Ike talking about black, whether Tina wanted. If Tina wants to have white people in her band, let her have white people in her band. You have lost that right to criticize her.
Have you seen
Obviously,
the
it's so
movie?
easy to say that now. Yes, I've seen. I love the movie. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. But I've watched the movie quite a few times. Yeah,
You know what?
is what I was trying to say.
I think both Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett,
Yeah,
they deserve Oscars.
They were both
they
nominated.
deserve
They were
every
nominated.
single award
I'm
out there.
telling you,
They were brilliant.
Now, this scene after they fought in the limo
Mm.
and they walk into this hotel,
Mm-hmm.
they're all bloodied and bruised. And the way Lawrence Fishburne's basically, is trying to, straighten himself out. That image, as sad as it is one of the most funniest, scenes to see in a movie. How these two people, after they ravaged them, themselves
each other in
the back of a limo, to come into this hotel room looking completely the way that they looked. But it's what a brilliant movie it was.
To me, the haunting scene of that movie was the final scene when she's about to go and perform.
Yes.
It was in 84.
Yes.
When she was supposed to go and do her first live performance.
Yes.
After she recorded an album. And Ike somehow sneaks into her dressing room.
Yes. Yeah.
And he says to her, "You think you want to run away from him? I'm in here."
I'm in here, anime.
He said, "Anime, I'm in here." That to me that's why, I just wanted to shoot
I
him.
sometimes also say that to my wife.
Yeah, yes.
You know what?
You can't run away from me.
But I say it in Afrikaans. Ek is hier so.
Please tell me it's in a completely different context, right?
Ek is hier so.
No, he's a little abuser here.
Ja.
No, don't do that.
Nee,
No.
ek sê vir haar dat hy is. Ja.
So,
Jy sal nie kom as daar toe gaan nie.
ek is-
Esther. Yeah, no, there's nothing funny about abuse.
yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not. But we can certainly always take a step back and applaud Tina Turner for her resilience, her drive, and
She's a survivor, man.
her legs.
Oh yeah, let's talk
I
about
wanted,
the legs.
no, I wanted to talk about how powerful, what a powerful woman she was, not her legs.
I don't give a
I don't
shit.
want to talk about it.
Oh,
I want to
excuse
try
Can I
and be
talk?
politically correct.
I wasn't
because
done
this is the new
talking.
People like to objectify women.
Ek stel nie
you.
belang
That
nie.
nonsense must stop.
Can we first
Last-
talk about how
stop
powerful
raising
she was to
women's
push
bodies.
through?
When you met your wife for the first time,
I did not look at her.
what did
legs.
you look at?
I looked at her personality
Bah!
and her intelligence.
Nonsense.
I'm sorry, Laz. Did you not hear the wow
Yeah.
echoing?
Even the audience here,
Yeah.
like at the Donald Trump, interview, they are here to
No,
like.
they are in awe of my personality. Oh wow, that man
some
looks actually at women's
leaf.
personality. I know it's very rare.
No. I was, you know what? I looked at my wife and I'm like, the first thing I saw was her legs. I said, hierdie ding is reg. And that is how I saw it.
You see the abuse I was talking about? He refers to his wife as the done.
No.
That's
Hello.
so come
I was in
What
my
did we say?
20s.
But did we not say that we're not going to be joking about abuse, please?
exactly.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see? Now why are you calling your wife a done?
See die
You
dingetjie.
see, is dit hy goed?
No,
was mos 'n
no,
mooi
but you see,
dingetjie.
yeah,
Was is.
he slanged it up. So it is still okay. Hierdie
So the
dingetjie.
reason why
Hierdie
I don't
oulike
talk about
dingetjie.
Tina Turner's legs is because Tina Turner is a year younger than my mom.
Ooh.
And
So I can't be
What is
here
your
talking
point?
about somebody who's a year younger than my mom's legs. I'm sorry, I can't do. There's just something morally wrong with it.
see, the thing is,
I can really
if she
reposition
knew your
Tina's
mother,
body from my mother's body.
if she was related or anything in that sense,
That is easy for
but
me.
she lives in a completely different
I
continent.
thank you.
She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know we exist. So
And
is
Tina is older
mother
than my
us
mother.
okay?
But
Like
I know
Hage.
she exists.
It's okay. Look, there are so many
I
people.
know she existed. That doesn't change.
Please. Okay. No,
Yeah.
we will. I don't know why I'm even asking you to
What?
to praise her legs. You don't have to.
Yeah, I praise her
understand.
legs.
I understand.
She's got beautiful
What
legs.
I will say,
Head.
she is gorgeous.
She's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Okay, sorry. She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
Legends
listen,
live on.
Neville, I have a very serious question. Actually, this is for the both of you. Laz, I can see you starting to smile.
Because I have an idea what you might ask.
Toho
Oh,
ni.
go ahead.
Crazy ni scam.
Let it out. Let
No,
it
no,
out
no,
now.
no. Ask
No,
the
because
question.
I need you both to be serious.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Are we ready?
Mhm.
Silence in the studio.
Okay.
I need you to both sing your favorite Tina Turner song. Sing.
What's love got to do?
No.
Got to do with it? What's love and affection and
Motion.
What's love got to do? Got to do?
Who needs a heartbeat?
And a heart can be broken.
That was my favorite song.
You can't do it like that. I know he's the other one to your life.
When you're not home and your mind is not your own, your body sweats, your body shakes. Another kiss is what it takes. You can't eat you're something big. You can't sleep. Okay, that was my song. Addicted to love.
Listen, don't look at me deep in the eyes like that. Did you sing the song to me or what?
I was singing the
I
song.
feel
I had
sick,
that
man.
alphabet moment there.
You. Ay, bukuru. Ay. Ooh! I'm not part with what this Vambu is.
I just said I had an alphabet moment. What's the
No. I don't even know what is an alphabet moment. I've
So
no
that was
idea.
my rendition.
Thank
of
you.
Addicted to Love.
Beautiful, beautiful gentleman.
Yeah, I did
Beautiful.
better than him.
And for you, Odile?
We need to all stand up and do the dance move. I love how the Leos will stand up. Okay. Yes. Okay, so
Did you see that video of Cyril Ramaphosa
Which one?
sitting? There's this delegation sitting, and there's this woman minister. She walks past him, and Cyril is just like, "Hey, lumtwa."
I like her. I like her shoes.
Yeah, I like her shoes.
I was referring to her jacket. I was
focus-
referring to her jacket, Odile.
to my jacket.
Your
Thank
jacket,
you.
yeah.
Okay, so Odile, I will try and focus.
On your jacket.
Okay, come on.
No, you can face. You can.
No, just do it the way you wanna do it. Okay, Odile. What's the move?
I don't know. Oh, it's like rolling.
Rolling on the river, rolling on the river. Okay, no, you have to change it up.
Yeah, okay.
Now, unfortunately, we have an audience here at the back who's like,
Why? Unfortunately, it's such a
No.
pleasure to have them here with
no,
us.
no, I'll explain.
Or did
So-
you guys
so-
have fun at least?
So they look at us
They had a
like,
little fun. You guys disappointed them.
so they look at us like, what is happening here? I have not seen such dancing at the GMP show with Ghana. Yeah.
What was your favorite Tina Turner song?
She explained it.
Golden Eye.
Yes.
Don't you remember her in that sexy
James
music
Bond.
video? Yes. And she's wearing that gorgeous
Yeah.
golden dress with the slit so high with the legs. Mm-hmm.
There's a connection between Tina Turner and Namibia. What is it now?
No, I wouldn't know.
Now think about it. There's
Besides
a
calling
direct
Africans
connection
lazy?
between Tina Turner and Namibia. The clue is golden eyes.
Oh, Mad Max.
Yes.
The movie.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that was shot here.
Yeah.
But was she physically in Namibia?
No, apparently not.
But Mel Gibson was here.
Mel Gibson was
Aha. I remember.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome.
That was exciting.
Thunderdome. I remember that.
And also the latest Mad Max movie was shot in Namibia.
It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Yeah, it was also shot in Namibia. So there was that little connection. I think that's why we are discussing Tina Turner, because there's that Namibian connection. And if Tina Turner came to Namibia, she would have fit right in a Ovambo location.
Why?
She looks like a Ovambo.
She does not look like a woman. That's like a beautiful hero woman. No. She looks very Damara to me.
No.
In fact,
Tina is
there are
Ovambo.
Vambos here at the
Donkerhoek.
back who are agreeing with me.
Donkerhoek.
That woman looks like she's from Gemengde. The
No,
Brazil
Donkerhoek.
stop.
She's Donkerhoek.
Tom, Marisa. Mariko. That's going to Khobra Circle.
Look, let me just tell
Get it
you.
on the bar.
Let me just
Yeah.
tell you. Let me just tell you. If Tina was...
Die.
Okay, let me
Die.
Let me
Sometimes I
not say
forget
that.
how to
Yeah,
do my job
yeah.
around the two of you.
No, Satsa.
Guys all seem to be seemingly very much impossible, but I love spending time with both of you.
Whatever you do in life echoes into eternity.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Tina left such a powerful legacy behind. I'm glad she also apologized for that very, very harsh remark on
Yeah.
Africans.
We grow up.
We grew up, yes. We absolutely grew up. And I especially love the fact that she left us such a beautiful collection of music
Brilliant body
and
of work.
performances.
The
Body of
other
work,
thing is,
yes.
so, I mean, final word for me. When, on a serious note, when I heard that Tina passed,
Mm.
I was just like, no, but people like Tina don't die.
Mm.
What do you mean she died? I mean, it's almost like, to me, it's, people like Tina are immortal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's blasting everywhere. Tina is... The world is sadly still saying goodbye to Tina Turner because it still was a shock to us, even though she was 83, I believe, and she was slowing down and taking it easy and just enjoying her last few days. It's still, Neville, as you said, the most shocking experience to know that when it eventually comes, this day, when we have to say goodbye, we will never be prepared for it. May she rest in eternal peace. And may we continue with her karaoke. Because I do want to continue hearing you guys singing. But before we
Jason
continue with the
Faust.
singing, before we do the singing,
I'm not going to sing.
oh my goodness. That was our tribute to the stunning Tina Turner. For more I Laugh Namibia episodes, make sure to stay tuned to Gondwana Collection's YouTube channel.